Okay, so I use Milton Keynes as an example because Milton Keynes have been, as you probably know, it was a city built deliberately for the car. It's just celebrated its 50th anniversary this year, and there's stuff on the telly about it. It really is built on a north, south, east, west grid road system. There's roads everywhere, and it's therefore got a lot of commuting into and out of the city. So an awful lot of large multinationals have their head offices in Milton Keynes. It's a big workplace area, so it's got a lot of travel to work catchment area from up to about 50 miles away, all around that central belt of England. So they've got a lot of car drivers. Therefore, it's a city built around parking, actually, never mind roads. There are car parks everywhere in Milton Keynes, and they are really easily accessible. And surprisingly, not very empty either. They're always full. And they've got very complicated parking systems around them and different fee structures in different places and all sorts of things to incentivise use. So Milton Keynes started in the very early stages of 2010, 2011 on rolling out recharging infrastructure to try and encourage not just the residents of Milton Keynes but the commuters into Milton Keynes to convert from internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles and hybrid vehicles, of course. And so they provided charging infrastructure all over the city centre. But what they didn't find actually was any correlation between that and the actual sales of vehicles and numbers of vehicles coming into Milton Keynes being electric. So they've decided to apply for Go Ultra Low City Scheme money then, so more OLEV money, and we're lucky enough to win 10 million to do a next phase of their rollout. And their objective this time was not just to raise awareness as it was in the first place, but their objective this time is to make a certain percentage of Milton Keynes vehicles ultra low emission by 2022. And it's a pretty scary target, so I'm not even going to tell you. But if we get there, it would be brilliant. So they've taken a series of actions that are directly focused on trying to raise vehicle numbers rather than just raise awareness. So they've already got quite a lot of charging points all over the place. They've got a lot of charging points all over the place. It's very densely populated with rapid and standard chargers. We'll talk about them in a minute about what the difference is. But they've also taken the step of opening the UK's first electric vehicle experience centre. So this is an agnostic shop, for want of a better word, only it's not a shop, it's an advice centre based in the middle of their inner city shopping centre where they display electric vehicles from all the different models, makers out there. They have a fleet of them which they then hire out or lend to people on short-term, medium-term and long-term loans so that people can try before they buy in their own environment, not just doing a little circuit of the central roadway in Milton Keynes, for instance, but taking them away for a weekend or a week at a time and trying them with their normal work life, family life requirements to see whether it works for them. And that's the first time that that's happened in the UK. And it's getting really, really good interest, use. There's people coming from, when you survey the people coming into the centre, there's people coming from up to 70 miles around because they know they can come to one place to find out all the information that they need. Much like going to the Go Ultra Low website where you can find out information, this complements that by them being able to get their hands on a car, them being able to ask questions of people who know how each of those cars works. They know about charging infrastructure, they understand what the different types are, where you can get them from, how they work, how much they cost, what it's going to do to your electricity bill at home, all of those kinds of information.
That's a question, who's funding that? Is it the council or the car makers?
Council. Predominantly the council, and they have received contribution from a number of car manufacturers and infrastructure manufacturers, but that's the smaller proportion of the funds. And that only lasts for 5 years. So the lease is for 5 years and then they'll have to rethink. But other cities now are looking to do something similar. If Milton Keynes can make it work, then other cities think they can too. And there's private money interested in doing this too. So Milton Keynes is taking an information focus to this. It's taking a normal charging focus to this, and then it's also taking a rapid charging hub approach. So they are building, much as Dundee is doing up here. You probably know about Dundee. So Dundee's probably going to open the first EV filling station concept anywhere in the UK, where it has 6, is it? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's 6 rapid chargers, so 6 50 kilowatt chargers that charge a car in under half an hour, all together in one place, close to some local amenities, so that you can have certainty of charge. You know you can go there like you go to a petrol station, and you'll probably be able to get straight on a charger, charge a car in half an hour and drive away. Okay, it's longer than the 3 to 4 minutes of a petrol refill at the moment, but the technology is improving, so it will go down over time. So Milton Keynes is doing the same thing as Dundee in that sense. It's built 2 of these, one in the city centre, one on the outskirts by the motorway, and we'll see how that changes people's approach, because it means they don't have to necessarily park on a charge point all day. They know they can do a quick charge, rapid charge top up on their way home or their way in the morning. So in order to seed that work in Milton Keynes took a wide survey of their population through the council's comms channels, and found that actually there was quite a lot of awareness now in Milton Keynes about electric vehicles and about charging infrastructure. People generally knew that there was infrastructure out there. They knew that they could use it. They had an understanding as to how much it cost, for instance, to use it.
Nissan's design centre is 4 miles away as well.
Oh, God. Not that that had any effect whatsoever on it. Yeah, and 18% of people said that they already had access to an electric vehicle, which is higher, much higher than the national average. And 27% had even thought about buying one, even if they hadn't gone ahead. So there's some really sort of weird figures in there, which we need to get to the bottom of. 61% said they considered, that's what I meant to read out.